On this episode of the Layover Live, we're talking email marketing with expert Veronica Williams.
You've got mail.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 13 of the Layover Live, where we bring you the top article from the Layover each week. I'm Jason Swick, Director of Digital Marketing. I'm joined by email expert who came all the way across the country to talk to us about email marketing today, Veronica Williams. So Veronica, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, super happy to have you here. Anything that we're talking about email, I want to make sure I have you here because you really know the ins and outs of email really well. The article that we want to talk about this week is a great article that comes from Target Marketing. It's revamping your email marketing for 2018. It's got some great things in there that talk about kind of some best practices or things you need to keep in mind as you're talking about email. Email is still being a great way for really brands to communicate with consumers, right? So maybe talk about some of the ways you can revamp email marketing in 2018.
Sure. One of the great things that I enjoyed when they talked about it in the article was about triggered marketing.
Okay.
That to remind people it's not something that you need to forget about, even though it's a set it and forget it one. That about once a year you need to go in, check all of your links, and check all of the people to make sure that they're still relevant. And another one would be going into your creative and freshening it up a little bit. And some feature items there would be to check your links. And not just to check them to make sure that they work, but to make sure where they're placed are actually getting you clicks. That they're not just set somewhere in Siberia, that they're getting you the clicks, ROI, and something like that.
Yeah, super important. You bring up a really good point is oftentimes if we're doing triggered emails or doing creative, we kind of set them up the first time. We don't really think about them. We might forget about them even a little bit because they're on these triggered campaigns and we let them go. It's a good idea, as you're saying, to kind of come back and check those things to make sure they work, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another interesting part of the creative that they talked about was with images. That when people look at images, they really use that as a guide to links. And so when you have your images, make sure that you have a link nearby that you're guiding people to.
Yeah.
So it's not just placing images.
Yeah, it's a good point. It brings up like really good user experience. Oftentimes I think when we're seeing emails go out, we don't think oftentimes about the user experience. So it's a good idea to kind of go through your emails, as you're saying, look at creative, look at the triggers it's creating, look at the overall flow, make sure that if I'm going through it as a consumer, right, that the path to what I'm trying to get the person to accomplish is very easy to do, right? These are all great points. So all good things you need to think about when you're talking about revamping your email marketing in 2018. Check out the article. It's got some really good pointers in there. Definitely. Speaking then of email marketing, we've got a great question this week coming from Gretchen from Knoxville. And what she's asked us is, great question around email marketing is email marketing really still a viable digital marketing form with tougher, CAN spam laws and policies that are coming along? Is it still a great source for DMOs to be using for their marketing?
Yes, it definitely is. According to the DMA, Digital Marketing Association, email last year received $38 per dollar, and which is amazing.
Right.
It's one of the highest. And with that part of it, then you also can look at the other side of her question about the CAN spam.
Yeah, super hot topic, right? You've talked about it ad nauseum, but maybe talk about some of the things around CAN spam and some of the things that you've seen and recommendations you make around that.
Yeah, I wish that the government would put more force behind CAN spam.
Okay.
One of our companies that we work with closely, Litmus, they've put together information and they've sent it to the government. But some places where we have seen huge strides would be with Canada and Castle.
Okay.
And then Europe and GDPR, which is coming up. So those are two things.
Yeah, that GDPR just right around the corner, right? All things to be thinking about as we're talking about people's privacy, making sure you're in compliance is always a really good thing. So thank you for sharing that. So again, yes, very viable platform. I think if anything, email marketing is an underutilized platform, especially with marketing automation, the power of marketing automation. I think you can do a lot of incredible things with email marketing to really engage and nurture your audience. So thank you, Veronica, for sharing that. And thank you for attending this week. Please submit your questions each and every week. We'd love to hear from you and answer those on the air. And we'll see you next time.